Hi there, Flosstube. My name's Amanda. My pronouns are she, her, and welcome to my channel, Sycamore Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitching. Um, this is the third time I've tried to do this intro because my phone keeps dinging and ringing, and I think I've quieted it, hopefully. Even when you quiet them, sometimes they figure out how to ding at you. Oh well. Um, so I just ordered myself some lunch to be delivered, so I've got to do this video before my food comes. So let's get started. This is Flosstube number 18. It's been 2 weeks since I last updated, and it's been really busy. The school year is coming to an end, and all the activities are coming to an end, and it's just like every day every evening is one or more things, and I'm just driving kids everywhere. And um, I'm hoping that it will calm down. But then I always say that, and summer ends up being its own kind of like wild. So, anyhow, my kids are almost done with school. They have like 3 days left, except for that changes for each kid. It's really weird. They all go to the same school, but they all have a different schedule. Um, my youngest, this is her last full day. And then tomorrow morning she has like her kindergarten graduation and goes home after that, and it doesn't go on the actual last day of school. My middle daughter is finishing third grade, so she has 3 more days of school, just 3 more days. And then my oldest is finishing sixth grade. So that's the last year of elementary school for them. So she also has a graduation. So she's at school today, and then she has her graduation tomorrow morning and goes home after it. And I guess the last day of school is optional for her, but she wants to go. So they all have different they all have different schedules, but after Thursday, we'll be done. So this is also the only year that all three of my kids are in the same school, and that's only because their school goes from kindergarten through sixth grade, which isn't, a lot of schools go only through fifth grade for elementary school. But anyhow, um, so next year she goes to the high school, even though she's only going to be in seventh grade. But we only have two levels of schools in our school district: kindergarten through sixth and seventh through 12th. So, wow, can't believe she's going to the high school, but she's not a high schooler yet. Anyhow, okay, so let's talk about some stitching. I have a finish. I I stacked up all my stuff and got it out of bags for you, so there hopefully won't be a lot of rustling today. But I finished my Snowy Owl Mill Hill kit. He had all of his stitching done last time, and I just finished him up this morning because I had put him off, and I was like, you need to finish him. Here, let's put something behind him. There we go. So you can see he's got beads, cream beads, two different colored green beads, and then the red beads, and then a little holly leaf bead there. It's a little hard to see the beads on there, but this is the second of 3 little Mill Hill kits that I bought 3. This is the second one I've finished. I don't know if I'm going to start the other one quite yet, but then I'm going to need to cut them out and make them into magnets. And I'm making one for each of my kids. So I'm not in a hurry to fully finish. I feel like I might just even wait till after I finish all 3 of them before I actually, turn them into whatever, if they're going to be magnets or ornaments or something. So that is my finish. He took about 8.5 hours to do, so not too bad. I like those nice little kits. Anyhow, I also have a new start since last time. Which is from, it doesn't say on here, Pigeon Coop Designs. I bought this a little while ago, but the two patterns came together, but this is the one I started, Cordillera. Cordillera. I don't know how to say that. I assume it's like a Spanish word. Anyhow, I just started this last weekend, and I think I'm almost halfway done with it already. I really like it. There's not very many colors, and you can just color complete very easily. So I've already finished the 3 brown colors and the 3 kind of peachy colors. Now there's 3 green colors and two blue. Here's all the colors. They're very pretty. Nice and bright and cheery. So yeah, I just have to do, there's like bushes over here, there's trees on this part, and there's some water. So I really like how that's turning out, and I really like this fabric. It's a 28 count Monaco, just labeled as tea dyed, that I got off 123 Stitch, but it's got a nice tension to it. I guess I actually like stiff fabrics, and Monaco seems to be pretty stiff compared to the Lugano that I usually use. So I don't know if I said, but I put 7 hours into that one already, and I think I'm about at the halfway point. So that is my finish. That is my start. And now, how about some just works in progress? I have a bunch of them this time. I went through like all of my active ones at least a little bit over the last 2 weeks. Plus, I even pulled an inactive one out for a stitching prompt. So there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 now. So, firstly, we have Emerald City by Satsuma Street. And I got this pattern. It's available on their Etsy shop and I think probably their regular website, but I got it from the Contemporary Cross Stitch magazine. I forgot, I meant to go look and see where I was last time, but I think that I had just finished the rainbow and maybe barely started on some of the blue. I'm not exactly sure, but I've obviously been filling in some blue. Started on the yellow brick, did the majority of the yellow brick road. There's still a couple other yellows that fill in the bricks there. And I have to fill in these, there's just like a couple hills. There's some poppies down here, and then there's some trees on the side to match up with the rainbow on either side. And this is on a 14 count Ada, Picture This Plus, in the colorway Willow. And it is a nice yellowish with a green tint that I thought was nice for this, but it is very, very soft for Ada. And even when it's in the hoop, it doesn't stay very tight because it's so soft. But my hoop is too small, so I had taken it out so you could see the rainbow. I'm hoping to probably finish that one by the end of June. I think that's doable. Also the Cordillera one. I think both of those I think are finishable by the end of the month, so that's my plan for those. Next is my Owl Forest Embroidery Frogs Princesses, which came in a kit. And some good progress on her. I felt like it was taking, for a long, long time, I was on the center motif, which is probably about like almost half the piece, maybe not quite half. And I finally moved out of it. Last time I had the whole center motif and then just a little bit of this lily pad motif done. So I finished the lily pad motif. It's kind of hard to see the little blue border of it. I did the dragonflies and I did this little frog prince. And then there's like a frog queen on this side that I will be doing next, and then starting some flowers up the sides. And then there's more motifs across. Really, it's just up all the way up the sides, and then one band across the top after this. So now that I'm finally done with the middle motif, I feel like I'm making some good progress on here. This is on a 32 count Lugana from Fortnight Fabrics called, oh, I forget, Staying Alive. It's in their Groovy Gradients Fabric of the Month Club, which are all like apparently named after like disco songs or something. So, but this is like a green. Everything else came from the kit. It's the Owl Forest threads, but I didn't like the dark green fabric that came with it. Well, I like the fabric, but I just wanted a little more contrast, so I picked a lighter green to use. Okay. And I put, let's see, 6.5 hours into that one since last time. Next is, this is in the middle, even though it's not actually a cross stitch piece. It's a counted canvas work piece or charted needlepoint. And it's called Azaleas by Moonlight by Nancy's Needle. So this is the first time I've worked on a project like this. Oh, I need something for behind it. Something. So it uses an actual kind of canvas instead of fabric, and it uses like pearl cottons, thicker threads, and the stitches are longer, more like a needlepoint. But that's how far I am. Last time I had this whole middle square done and some of this blue around about to here. So I finished all this dark blue, did these 2 corners, and then there's a couple little borders here. The way it's charted is there's a chart for the middle square, and then there's a chart for just kind of like the top half, and then you just flip it over and do it again. Which that's also weird, I guess, to me from cross stitching, is that especially with how big these are with the stretcher bars, I can just like move it around wherever I want it when I'm working on it, because like you can't really do that with cross stitch because you want your crosses to all go the same way. I mean, I guess you could move it around and then just like change how you stitch, but this one, like you're going wherever you're going anyhow. So I guess it doesn't really matter. So you can flip it upside down and work on it. Okay. And next I have my Peacock sampler, which I got from an Etsy store that is not currently up anymore, called EmbroideryPatternsPDF, and it says that the artist is Elena Kharitonova. I believe that this is probably a Russian designer, which is probably why they've disappeared from Etsy. And this is just charted as a monochromatic sampler, but I am using colors, and I'm also taking off the very outside border. So like kind of this part, and also there's still like an inside border that I'll be doing. So last time I had the body of the peacock done, and so since then I have started on some feathers. This is on a 16 count Ada from Witcholt called, I think, Sea Lily. It's like a pale green. And the bird's body is a DMC, and I'm going to use a purple DMC on the outside border too. But then this one that I'm using for all the feathers is a Threadworks color called Tapestry. And just when I looked at the color, I thought this needs to be a peacock. So I kind of was like, then I just went looking for a pattern that had a peacock. And that's how this started. So yeah, so all these feathers is what I've done since last time, and I love how they're turning out with the colors. This one I will work on for another, like, what is it, 2 weeks? But then I wanted to show the thread too. Oh, this is from my Emerald City. I wanted to show the Threadworks that I'm using. maybe. Yeah, there it goes. It's like blue, purple, and green all together, which I love. Sorry, I started to say that on the first day of summer, the Peacock will be going away for a little bit because I will be bringing back my Four Seasons Emma Congdon piece and starting the summer portion of that. And then when I finish it, hopefully before fall starts, I'm just going back and forth between the Peacock and that. Although I think that the Peacock's going to be a really good travel piece, and we're going to be going on vacation for half of July. So I think I will be bringing him for that because it's on Pattern Keeper and you're only using like one color at a time. There's only two more colors total in the piece. So I think he's going to be a really good travel piece. So he'll probably be coming out once I go start traveling. And I spent 4.5 hours on him since last time. Okay, what's next? Next, I do not have a picture. I guess I can put one in here, but this is the Pro Choice Stitch Along, and that's why I don't have a picture because it is still in the process. Like pieces are still being released every Friday, and so I haven't like printed any of them out because they keep changing. I am behind on it because it is a big, like there's, the pieces are pretty big. Not so much anymore, but at the beginning they were. And so I've just never really been caught up, but I'm doing okay. So here's where I am. This is part 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm not quite done with part 5. I'm not quite done with part 1 either because I left off this one color because I was just going to fill it in later thinking it was going to be pretty easy. So here on part 5, I have one more color around these and just filling in some, there's some back stitching so it says I'm the boss of my body. Oh, and there's some more stuff inside that border. So I'm still working on part 5. Started part 6, which there's just one more color and it fills in and leaves some words. And then 7 and 8 have been released on either side here. And then there's just 2 more, 9 and 10, and then finishing the border all the way around. So yeah, the last piece I think will be released on June 17th. I don't know when I'm going to finish it, but this is also a good travel piece because it's in Pattern Keeper, and I'm doing it on an 18 count, just white Aida. Anything on Aida to me is a travel piece. I find Aida like just easy to do when I'm out of the house. And even though this is the first time I ever used 18 count, but I'm liking it a lot. It's not, I don't find it any more difficult than like a 16 count. So I actually, I forget where exactly I was last time. I think that I have done this section and this section and then everything from there down since last time. But I put over 9 hours into it since last time. So there's a lot of stitching on that. And I want to get caught up. Next is my Twisted Rainbow Sampler, which I am trying to use as a focus piece for the month of June for Pride because it is fun and rainbow. Here's the picture of it. Twisted Rainbow Sampler by Northern Expressions Needleworks. It is 18 bands, 19 colors. Every other band is cross stitch and specialty stitches. I've been stuck in the yellows for a while. I've made some good progress on it since last time. I'm in this last yellow. I think I just had like a little bit of it here. So I did all the rest of this second half of the yellow, and I'm almost done with the specialty stitches because there's only one row of specialty stitches for this color, which is just a satin stitch. So that was pretty easy. So all I have left of the yellow is one more butterfly and like a tiny little bit of satin stitches. And then I'll be into the greens, which I'm so excited about. I've been waiting to get out of the warm colors and into the cool colors. Also, I did want to note, like, because I was saying this was my focus piece for Pride. As far as I know, the designer is not part of the LGBTQ community, but I did purchase the silk pack and the pattern from a store of someone from that community, so even more reason to use it as my focus piece. So I'm hoping by the end of June I want to obviously finish this yellow and finish the next green and be started on the second green. Let me find my colors here. I'm using the Dinky Dye Silks, and it's on a 32 count black linen. These are the ones I've already done, except for the one I'm using is somewhere else. And then these are the ones I haven't done yet. So these are the ones I am super excited about doing. More of the cool colors. I guess it gets a little warm at the end again, but yes. So this is my next color. It's like it's called a yellow green. So I want to finish the yellow, finish this, and be into the second green, which they are very close to each other. They're just very slightly different. Then we have a dark green, some blues and teals and purples, and yes, I'm so excited about the colors to come. So, yes. I put like 5.5 hours in that one in the last couple weeks. Okay, next is my Watercolor Bear. The artist for this is Alisa Okneas. And this is a huge, huge piece. I don't know what the actual stitch count is. I'm doing it on a 28 count Monaco, over 2. I'm just doing this top kind of row across here up in the tree. And this is just kind of a slow and steady one. It's hard to see a lot of progress on it because it's so like watercolory. There's a lot of very, very light blue that I did this last week. I did the first page, although I wandered off the page because I think it ends like here and like here. And now I'm just doing the second and third page together and just color completing them. And even though it's 4 pages across and 4 pages down, this top corner page is completely blank. Because as you can see, there's just like kind of a white space in that top corner. So I'm on page 2 and 3 right now. So I did 2.5 hours on this in the last little bit, and it's hard to see because it's really light blue and it almost matches the white. It was 634 stitches though, so although they were half stitches, so kind of, I guess, less than that, half that. Some of this is full stitches, some of it is half stitches. It just depends on the symbol, and some of them are really, I find it a mentally hard thing to do because some of the colors have both full and half stitches in the same area, and I don't want to go through and do that like 2 different times. I want to do it all at the same time, so I'm, just to save floss or something, I don't know. So and since I'm in Pattern Keeper, like I can highlight one and then I have to keep watching for the other one too and make sure you're doing the right thing. Anyhow, that's not what I did last week, but some of the time that is how it is, and that can boggle my brain a little bit, I guess. So I hadn't touched that for several weeks, probably almost a month. So I was glad to put a little time into it. Okay, I have one more WIP. It's one of my not active WIPs, so in explanation of why I pulled it out, D's 20 Stitches is hosting a Stitch for Pride 2022, like hashtag Stitch for the number Pride 2022. And I have been trying to keep up with that. It's great. They have done education for each day and then a stitching prompt for each day. And you have to do the education first before you can stitch. And I have been keeping up with that However, I can't keep up with posting my progress on Instagram because that, I don't know, I'm not good at that part. But there was one day, actually day 2, when the education was about the Hijra, which is the oldest like ethnic transgender community in the world. And so the stitching prompt to go along with that was to stitch on your oldest WIP. So I was trying to follow the actual rules. So I pulled this one out, which is a Stichrovia one called Popsicles. I guess here, I'll just show you it's almost done so you can, but that's what it will look like. I was working on this last summer, and then come fall, I put it away because it felt too summery to be doing in the fall. I only have 5 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more Popsicles to finish, and they're even at least partially done. All I did this week was this light blue inside these stripes. That's all I did. But I think I'm gonna put it back away just for a couple weeks, and then when summer's in full swing, I'm gonna pull this back out again and finish it up because honestly, a couple days on this and it would be done, I think. So and my youngest claimed it last year to get like put in her room, so maybe I will actually finish it this summer. This is just on a 14 count Ada in like a cream or an antique white or something I just bought at Joann's. So that's it for my WIPs. My goodness, it's a lot of stitching. I have a little bit of haul. I showed last time, let me put these pictures all back. That went really quick when I took everything out of the bags and stuff beforehand. Wow. Last time I shared that I had ordered a Stitchy box, the Flower and Garden Countdown box, and I had started this, I don't remember the date, but I was 5 days in when I did my last video. So I have 15 days worth of things. I started doing like mini videos of me opening them, and after a couple days I was like, no, I'm just gonna open them and like keep them separate so I could just show you what I opened new since last time. So I'll start with some of the threads. We have something to put behind this, maybe. Oh, that's not gonna help. That's brown and brown. One second here. Flip these over so that this is white. Okay, here we go. So this is a pretty tan color. It is a Gentle Art limited edition Stitchy box exclusive called Vintage Doily. Cotton thread. And then there's another Gentle Art limited edition, although it doesn't have a sticker on it, so I don't know what its name is or if it has one, but it's kind of a dark green that goes into, there's a little bit of brown in the variegation. This first one doesn't really look like it has any variegation that I can notice, but this second one does have some kind of into brown there. Nope, I don't know if we're gonna be able to really see them well. Let me put my light on them. Maybe that will help. No, that won't help. Then we have a Flower Silk by Stitchy Box called Bell Heather, which is a pretty purple with some light purple variegation there. And another Stitchy Silk that says limited edition olive, French spun silk. Not really any variegation in that. It's a lighter version of this. Well, no, it's like a different green. It's an olive green. And one more thread in this last section, which is a Threadworks overdyed Pearl 12, which from looking at it, it looks like one strand of this is probably like 2 strands. And it is 1015 is the number. I think I looked it up and it was called like ice blue or something like that. So those are some cottons, some silks. I had a silk and a cotton in the first section too. So far that's seven flosses that I've gotten. I'm a little over halfway through the box. Okay, the next thing here, I was actually really excited about this because I wanted to buy some wax, some beeswax, but like it's like hard to just buy a little thing of beeswax and have it shipped. So I got a little thing of beeswax, which is awesome. Every once in a while I feel like I have some thread that needs a little bit of it. Okay, then let me show you the little doodads next. I don't usually use doodads. I don't know why I'm saying doodads, like little things on my finishing. So I don't know if I will use these or not, or just pass them on to my kids to use. This one is like a metallic blue and silver, and it has a thing at the top to attach. This one said it was black walnut flower charm with some little like mirror spots on it. This is a crystal butterfly, but this one doesn't seem, I guess you could glue it or something. It doesn't, oh, it's not going to show up very well because it's just clear and sparkly. But it doesn't, it's not like it's a charm or anything. It doesn't have any way to attach it. There we go. And it's kind of an odd shape with like a little point on the back, so I'm not really sure how to use that. This, I really like this little lobster claw. It's got some like turquoise color to it, like old copper. This would be great for making a little scissor fob. So I might do that with that one. I also got a bunch of little seed beads. These ones are opaque matte sea opal. Oh. There we go. Very pretty color. Translucent pink. Seriously, I told you it would still somehow ring for me. I thought I put it on Do Not Disturb. Translucent wisteria crystal beads. Oops. There you go, I guess. So hard to show these tiny little things. So 3 little packets of beads. I think there was already 1 or 2 from the first section. Okay. Okay, I had to pause. My lunch showed up, so let's finish this up. Haha. So, Fiber on a Whim, Hydrangea, 28 count Lugana. Just a little piece of it. Super pretty purple though. Don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I do know there's at least 1 more piece of fabric and 1 more, well, I have a pattern and 1 more pattern to open up in the box. So I'm trying to not think too much about what I'm going to do with things until I see everything that's in the box. And then this is the pattern I've got so far, which is from the Blue Flower, Seasons of the Heart, Spring. Let me take a picture out of the bag so you can see it better. It's pretty, but it's not my taste. I'm not sure that I'm gonna do this one. I'm not sure that I would want to adapt it into something else We change the colors, maybe. It calls for DMC, just 10. I don't know. It's not that I don't like it. I don't find it like distasteful, but there are so many things I want to stitch that like I really want to stitch that like I'm just not going to stitch something that I only feel about. And that's kind of how I feel about this one. So it may be potentially a giveaway, or potentially I go to some in-person things where we do trades and stuff. So we'll see. I don't think I'm going to stitch it though. So that's everything from my Stitchy box. I have a couple other things I got though. I got my Fortnight Fabrics Fabric of the Month. I'm going to have to take this out, which is from the Groovy Gradients Club. And it's a 32 count Lugana 8th yard. And this one's called Night Fever. And it is beautiful. It's like a peachy orange. That is, I feel like it's darker than what you're seeing. I feel like it's a little washed out. It's the right color, but I feel like it's a little bit more color and less of the cream. Maybe if I come really close. I don't know, but it is. This is like one of the ones, one of my favorites, I think. But then again, I don't know what I'm gonna stitch on it. But I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out in time. I've got to get over like feeling like I need to know exactly what I'm doing with everything I have. I'm not apparently really good at having like a stash because I want to like everything feels like it should have a purpose to me. And my last bit of haul is a kit I had pre-ordered and it came from Pigeon Coop Designs, which is called Winding River, and I love all their designs. This is actually why I started the Cordillera piece, is because I got this in the mail. I really wanted to start this, but this is kind of a bigger project, and I decided that I was going to start the smaller one that I had bought previously from them. And this is a whole kit. It's got pattern, it's got 14 count white Aida, it's got a hoop, a needle, and I think they might have accidentally sent me 2 of these because I have 2 of them. The little floss cards. I don't know. I think there's enough on one floss card. So I think they might have just accidentally sent me 2, but there's the colors. They're so pretty. So, I might use this as a travel piece too, especially since it is just already completely kitted up. All I need are some scissors. The only thing that I'm not sure about is this is shown as a circle, but it's actually charted as a square. So I'm just wondering if I want to do it as a square or as a circle. You could always do it as a square and frame it as a circle, but it's also a lot of extra stitching. If I don't want it to be a square, I will probably not stitch, these corners. So I don't have to decide that yet. In fact, I don't have to decide it until I have like all the middle done, whether I want to do the corners or not. But it is charted as a square, but they have kind of like the outline of the circle so that you could choose to stop there. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And that's probably going to be another travel piece for me this summer, probably. So that is all of my haul. My Stitchy box, I have 10 more days on that. Plans. I kind of mentioned some of them already. I want to finish the Cordillera. I want to finish Emerald City, and I possibly want to finish that Popsicles, although I don't know. It depends on when I bring that one back out. It might not be finished by the end of June. And I'll probably do another update before we get to the end of June. I'll probably do one for the first day of summer. And then first day of summer, I'm going to switch back to my 4 seasons. And I told you how far I wanted to get on my Twisted Rainbow. Yeah, I guess I already talked about my plans. I don't know why I bothered writing them down at the end because I always talk about them as I go. So my food got here. I'm gonna go eat it. I got a salad and some jalapeno poppers from the pizza shop. So yay. My husband is out of town for just 3 days this time. Um, and my kids are bigger. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be when I would have to solo parent. And obviously, some people solo and single parent all the time, so I really shouldn't complain. But especially with me being on call, it can get a little stressful. So I usually treat myself to things like buying myself lunch when he's out of town. So anyhow, I'm gonna go eat that lunch, and I'll see you guys probably right around either the first day of summer or within a few days of that is when I'll plan to do another update. So, okay, have a good day. Bye.